The NDSU women's basketball team came into today just one win away from earning the automatic bid into the NCAA tournament. In their way, the Summit League Tournament Championship game, the top-seeded South Dakota State Jackrabbits. NDSU got off to a good start, though. Elle Evans gets the ball, drives baseline, goes underneath and off the glass for two. An early lead for NDSU. Low-scoring first half. Jacks lead just 22-17 when Heaven Hamling calls bank. The senior drains the three at the buzzer to pull her team within just two. Bison kept scrapping. Freshman Avery Coonan, Chippewa County, Minnesota native, fights for the tough and won, keeping it close, but in the end, the Jacks are just too much. Paige Meyer had a game-high 18 points for South Dakota State, and SDSU is going dancing. They win 67-54. The Mayville women's basketball team is on its way to the NAIA National Championship Tournament in Salina, Kansas. The 12th-ranked Comets got the auto bid to the tournament after winning the NSAA Conference Championship. They face Freed Hardeman out of Tennessee on Friday at noon. The undefeated Kindred boys basketball team got a send-off celebration today, courtesy of the kids at Kindred Elementary School. The Vikings play Killdeer, we heard about earlier, in the State Division A quarterfinals on Thursday. The rest of that bracket includes Devils Lake facing off against Valley City, Grafton against Beulah, and Des Lacs Burlington against Shiloh Christian. Our sports team will have coverage and highlights on Thursday. The Minnesota Vikings continued what's been a very busy start to free agency, announcing today they'll have agreed to terms with free agent running back and former Green Bay Packer Aaron Jones. The 29-year-old has rushed for more than 1,000 yards 3 different times in his career. Though he's had some injury issues, he played in just 11 games last year. Some other new additions this offseason include linebacker Blake Cashman, an Eden Prairie native with more than 100 tackles with the Texans last year. Edge rusher Jonathan Greenard signed a big 4-year, $76 million deal coming off a 12.5 sack campaign in Houston. Linebacker Andrew Van Ginkel, most recently of the Dolphins, and quarterback Sam Darnold, former blue-chip prospect out of USC, now on his 4th NFL team. Darnold will at least help replace Kirk Cousins, who signed that 4-year, $180 million deal with Atlanta. Jones will take over for Alexander Madison, who was cut before free agency. Pass rusher Danielle Hunter also expected to sign elsewhere, coming off a 16-sack season, but still a free agent. So Cousins out, Darnold in at QB. Probably. They could still draft somebody to at least lean under. It's only a 1-year deal for Darnold, so there's still some options out there.